Summer Owens, and I'm back with another So What success story. It has been really fun talking to a lot of amazing people, sharing how they have become successful in their various ways of their lives or aspects of their lives by learning how to deal with the challenges in their life. So today I am talking to Miss Alexia Young. And Alexia is the Vice President of the Black Alumni Chapter of the University of Memphis. And she has a real job, a full-time job that pays her. But I'm going to let her introduce herself to you. So Alexia, just give us a short bio, because I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions that'll give you an opportunity to share a lot more.
All right. Well, thank you, Summer, for having me on this. I'm very excited to share my success story. But yes, I am the current vice president for the Black Alumni Chapter at the University of Memphis. I'm also an administrator for Compass Community School, which is a charter school in Memphis. And then I do have my own business. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm the founder of B4A, Beauty for Ashes, and we offer mentorship, missions, the Cleft Lip and Palate Foundation, and publishing. And so I do a lot around Memphis and across the world. So, and of course, it's all about serving and being a servant leader. So I'm excited about this opportunity to share more about it.
That's awesome, Alexia. That is awesome. See, I'm already learning some new stuff already. That's cool. That is so cool. I'm really excited for you to share your journey. So in this program, I like to talk about the success formula, what I consider the so what success formula, how to be successful. And for me, the formula is simply learning how to overcome obstacles, eliminate excuses, calculate choices, and that equals so what success. So I want to ask you a few questions just around those topics, and we'll get through the so what success formula. So first, overcoming obstacles. We all face obstacles in our lives. We all have different challenges. What are some of the obstacles you face in your life? And share with us how you've overcome those obstacles.
All righty. So one of my, biggest obstacle that I'm still dealing with till today, and I'll probably deal with it forever, is being born with cleft lip and palate. And cleft lip and palate is when you do not have like the roof of your mouth, and then your jaw is broken into two. Your top jaw is broken into two, and your lips are also separated, split into two as well. And usually it calls for your nose to be crooked or flat, and you have to go through a lot of speech therapy to learn how to enunciate and how to use your tongue with the new roof that they actually prepare for you when you have your cleft repair. And so being born with cleft lip and palate and knowing how it would impact my life forever, that was one of the biggest obstacles that I had to overcome. I first had to learn how to love myself because this is a birth defect that is on your face. Is your smile, it's your nose, so everyone can see it. And also learning how to speak and how to enunciate things, which is also plays a major part in your life and your career. And so I had to overcome low self-esteem. I had to overcome insecurities. I had to learn how to be okay and accept my birth defect as is. I had to learn more information about it and, learn how to be happy about being born different. And so learning how to, go through that obstacle was me, again, learning myself and learning what is this birth defect and how can I help other people with the birth defect as well. And so going throughout school, going throughout college, adult life, has been an ongoing obstacles, but I will say that I have overcame it. I am now very open about my story. I'm very transparent about my pictures. I do post my picture on social media. It took me 28 years to show someone how I looked as a baby, but when I started to be more comfortable with who I am and realizing that my birth defect is who I am, is part of me, that's how I started overcoming those obstacles. And like I said, I started the my foundation, where now I give money and give back to children and mothers who have newborn babies with the same birth defect. And I mentor young ladies and young men also with the birth defect, so that they can become themselves or be okay with themselves before reaching the age of 28. And so like that's my biggest obstacle, and that's something, like I said, that I will have to overcome daily, because yes, as a woman, I do have that fear that my child can have the birth defect as well. So that's going to be something else that I'll have to overcome with my birth defect. And so I believe, like I said, that's one of my biggest success stories. One of the things that I think I'm very proud of and I'm very transparent about is my cleft lip and palate story.
That's beautiful, Alexia. So first of all, you are beautiful, girl. And I didn't know that. I did not know that. You are my beautiful soror. Beautiful on the inside, beautiful on the outside. And I think it's also beautiful. And it's what I try to do as well with my life, my story, my challenge, and what I call my so what statement. So that's your so what statement. So what, you were born with that. And so what are you going to do about it? And so my so what, so what as a teen mom, so as a rape victim, all the things that I deal with, how do you move forward from it? And I think that's absolutely beautiful how you are using that challenge to help other people not have to deal with it the same way that you dealt with, to hold it in and let it hold you back or hold them back for as long as it held you back, and to embrace themselves. And I also have a fundraiser called the Love Yourself event. And so I know the importance, that's for my foundation. So I know the importance of self-love, no matter what the challenge might be, because we all have some physical things that we might change about ourselves or that we don't like about ourselves. But thank you for sharing that. Beautiful, and you're beautiful, and you're doing a beautiful thing with it. Were you about to share something else regarding the obstacles?
Not at this moment. That was
okay.
Like I said, that's
nope. I just wanted to make sure I didn't cut you off. I wanted to make sure I didn't cut you off. No, that was powerful. That was very, very powerful. And I hope somebody who's watching this is gonna get it and see that they have something that's holding them back, that they maybe can't do anything about and they can't change, but it's keeping them from being the best version of themselves, and it's keeping them from changing the lives of other people. And that's what you do, Alexia. You do it with the work that you do, and regarding the disability or the challenge, but you do it in so many other ways that have absolutely nothing to do with it. But I know so many other people who may have some challenges or feel like some limitations that keep them from doing anything. And I applaud you for what you're doing and freeing people in that way. So the other part of the So What Success formula is eliminating excuses. So it's overcoming obstacles and then eliminating excuses. So we all can have an excuse for why we are not doing what we should be doing in life, or what we want to do in life, or not going after our goals or our dreams. How do you eliminate excuses, or how have you eliminated excuses from your life so that you can be the success story that you are already, and the success I already see that's coming for you?
Well, one, I love how your whole eliminating excuses, because that's one thing that I believe in. I put it in a different way. And so I make sure I tell anyone that I'm speaking to or any event that when you come under B for A or B for Ashes or be mentored by me, like one of my biggest motto is we would no longer allow the hardship of life to distract us from our purpose, which is basically no excuses. And so I love that whole, that model, that platform that you live by. And so your question was basically like, how do you go against having no excuses?
Yeah, or how do you get past the excuses that you could make? Because you just talked about an obstacle, right? You could easily say, well, I'm not showing my face, and I'm not getting involved in this, and I'm not doing this. I'm not going to school. I mean, we both know, we both mentor young people. We know people don't do a lot in life for a whole lot less, much less. And so just any excuses that you could have or have used, or how you get past that.
I remember there was a time when I was in grade school, I was a young child, because of my birth defect, of course, I had to have speech therapy. And as educators, we all know if you have to be in speech, you have to have an IEP. But the IEP is very different than having an academic resource IEP because it's speech only, and you have to go through speech therapy. And I remember when I was getting ready for my last IEP meeting, I was getting ready to test out. I was so excited because, of course, as kids, we don't like to, have to be taken out to go somewhere else. And so I was so excited, but I had this one teacher who basically believed that my birth defect impacted my intelligence just because I wanted to speak up in her class. And it was like, I didn't speak up in your class because I didn't have the confidence. I was scared. I had low self-esteem, but it did not impact my ability to learn or ability to succeed in my learning. But she felt as if it did. And I still have no idea why, but they included me in the meeting. And I just remember her like saying, no, she needs more. We need to add this on her plan and all of those things. And my speech therapist was like, she's good. She's ready. My mom was like, I think she's ready. But that one teacher wouldn't let me, I guess, be released. And so my mom took me out of the IEP meeting, and I was just crying in a hallway at my school. And I told my mom that I can do it. Like, I'm smart, Mama. I can do it. And my mom looked at me and said, I believe in you. And we're going to go in there. We're going to say.
And that's a beautiful thing, though, Alexia, that, and you're an educator, so I know you see this all the time, but it's a beautiful thing that you recognizing yourself that you could do it. Because there are situations, we both know there are situations where that teacher saying that to the student could make the student believe that they can't.
Yes. And so I had to literally, I guess, believe, like you said, believe in myself and have no excuses. So I did have to start speaking up. I had to start making sure that no one else would see my birth defect and align it with my ability to learn or need extra support to learn. And so that's one thing. And I end up graduating with honors. I end up getting scholarships to 5 different universities. And it's all because I didn't let that be an excuse. I didn't let a teacher, her belief in me, be an excuse for me to sit back and be okay with what someone else believed in me. But that's one of I would say I will always remember that's like very vivid, that I had to make sure that I didn't use my excuse of my birth defect, but actually rise above it.
Or it actually probably pushed you a little bit more, didn't it?
Yes. Taught me how to fight for what I believe in. And I think since then, I have been that person that, no, I'm not accepting excuses, and I'm not going to allow myself to be part of an excuse, because there's no excuse. If this is what you dream about being or about doing and you believe in yourself, then there should be no reason for you to hold yourself back from it.
Absolutely. I'm with you, girl. I am so with you. I'm feeling you. That's exactly right. And I feel like I see you, myself in you a lot, in that I was doubted. I was counted out, when I became a mom at 15, and there were people who looked down on me and questioned if I could be successful. And so I really did kind of develop, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you. I can show you better than I can tell you attitude. And I see that in you too, because you are, some people call it overachiever and see it in a negative way, but I see it. It can be positive. It can be definitely be positive when you balance it with life. And I see you as somebody who's like, I'm doing a lot of great things, and you're doing a lot of great things. And I some of it came from people doubting you or from people putting you down. And I was like, sometimes you have to thank the haters. You can call that teacher a hater. Be like, thank you, because I showed you. I get it, and I applaud you for that. But I think we constantly need to remind people, especially our young people, that somebody else's belief about you doesn't have to become your own. Mm-hmm. And back to what you said originally, you got to love yourself. You were made the way that you are made. Embrace it. Continue to improve yourself and believe in yourself and keep getting better. I love it. So the next part of the formula is calculating choices. So it's overcoming obstacles, eliminating excuses. And we will have obstacles and we will have excuses, but it all comes down to the choices that we make, right? in dealing with those obstacles and the choices and eliminating those excuses. How have you calculated the choices in your life? So you're super involved, and I think you probably almost always have been that girl involved in a lot of different things. How do you calculate the choices that you've made throughout your life that have gotten you to where you are right now and where you want to go?
Well, that's a great question. My dad always taught us that, and he's a pastor, but he always taught us after the sermon series he did was that your network determines your net worth. And so I always believe in building a community of people around me and a community of a support system that I never try to do things all by myself. I know there's a lot of people who have reached their success story by doing it by themselves, like all alone. And that's been something that I have learned from my parents, is that to be successful, you need a group behind you. You need a group beside you. You need a group in front of you. And so throughout my life, I made sure that whatever I believe my purpose was or my calling is, that I connect myself with people who have already achieved those things, or I connect myself with peers who are on the same path that I am on. And so from me being an urban educator and making sure that most of what I do in education is geared towards a certain population, I had to get connected with a program, which is Memphis Teacher Residency, that their focus is on urban education. I had to connect with the leaders of that organization in order to understand, like, how can this become my purpose? Also, with the University of Memphis, I was blessed to be part of an amazing sorority, and making sure that I stayed connected. Even if I didn't even know them at first, I will figure out who you are, because I believe in getting connected with people that came before you, and also staying connected with the people that is coming after you.
I can attest to that, because I remember when you reached out to me, I don't know when that was, it was several years ago. And I'm like, who is this? But guess what? I knew who you were. After that one time of me asking, who is this? I'm like, okay, I know her. And she's gonna make sure I always know her. And I love it, and know you for good too. Okay, you can know somebody and it's not good, but but I'm like, okay, from that moment, I'm like, okay, I see you, I got you. And now we work together. Now we do a lot of stuff together, and it's great. So that's awesome advice. And I definitely I teach that too when I talk to anybody, is network, build relationships, and start early. So when you, even high school and college especially, the people that you meet there, is an awesome opportunity to meet people from everywhere and stay connected. Thank you for sharing that. So, okay, so it's overcoming obstacles, eliminating excuses, and calculating choices. That equals so what success. Mm-hmm. And that's success in spite of any obstacles that you face. But how do you define success?
I think I define success when it comes to your internal belief, because you can look successful on social media, you can look successful in other people's eyes, but I feel as if you don't feel successful within yourself, then you're not really successful. And so I do define success as someone who loves what they're doing, someone who believes in themselves, and someone who values themselves, and see themselves as success. I think that's mine, because I know, like I said, externally you can look successful, you can have all the money, all the followers, all of that, but then internally you're suffering, you are drained. And so I do believe success is all about your internal belief of yourself.
I believe that too. I love that. I love it. And the older I get, the more mature I get, the more that definition becomes real for me. I believe I know I've achieved success when, I've gotten my degrees, the jobs, the house, the car. That is success, because those are goals that I set, and I achieved those goals. But just like you said, the ultimate measure of success is, are you happy? Are you happy? Are you doing what you should be doing with your life? And for me, also, it's about purpose and living with purpose, and my life having meaning. So I'm totally with you on that. So it also goes from success to significance, right? From being successful, and now my measure of success is am I being significant? Is my life helping somebody else? So, and I know you get that because I see you doing it all the time. Here's my last question for you, Alexia. What advice, and you've already given a lot, but just one maybe closing thought, piece of advice for somebody who wants to be successful, however they define success, they want to be successful, but they're experiencing challenges. So this may be a student, it may be a young professional, maybe somebody well into their career, but they may be facing some challenges, but they still want to be successful. What advice would you give?
The first question I probably will ask is, do you have a support system, a support team? Because again, I do believe that you can cross a lot of those barriers if you have a team of supporters, and it can be from your family, from your friends, but having that group of people behind you to cheer you on. And when you are failing, that same group that you can cry to and lay your head down on. For me, I feel as if a community is what helps you to actually succeed a lot in life. It's not doing it all by yourself, but having people around you that believe in your passion and believe in your purpose and doing it with those people.
Absolutely. Thank you, Alexia. I think that's right. So, you know what you said, people that'll cheer you on, and then the people that'll be there when you're crying. And the only thing I would add to that is the people who can also kind of check you and tell you, yeah, no, that probably wasn't the best thing to do. I wouldn't do it that way. Those are real friends, right? Those are real friends. And I would also probably add that because a lot of us may not have, that super supportive family, or the family maybe not shows it in a different way than we need it, right? And some of us may not have the friends who are exactly what we need. And I when I moved to Memphis, my biggest, and that's why I'm such a huge supporter of the University of Memphis, is because that community that you talk about is so important. I got that at the University of Memphis, and I created it at the University of Memphis. So not only with our sorority, but also with staff. I was an involved student, and so staff helped, directors of staff and administration, my professors. And so I think that's a very important point about building a community and creating a community so you have that support. But also for anybody listening to know, you got to maybe put in some work to find who can be in that community, because it may not just be people running to be there for you. It may be people that you have to reach out to and say, hey, I need you to fill this role. And you may not have a mother figure, may not have a father figure, may not have the brothers or the sisters who are supporting you. Create that. But it's crucial and important, just like Alexia said, that you have that community. Well, thank you, Alexia. That was all. And I appreciate everything that you share. You shared some very good advice. I appreciate you being so open about sharing your story. And again, you are a beautiful child. Inside and out, and I'm just so honored that you shared this story, and I know that people watching this will feel inspired as well, and find a new love for themselves too, in spite of any challenges they might have.
Yes. Well, thank you for having me.
Thank you.